Good evening, everyone. Today is Wednesday, August 19, 2026. We're in the Eldon F. Moreira Board of Selectmen room. Time is currently 6:01 p.m. We are 1 minute behind schedule. Before we stand for the pledge, I'd like to just remind everybody that this meeting is being recorded for use on the internet and our local cable station. If everyone would please stand and join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. Before I get started with the joint meeting, if I would, during the summer times we usually have a meeting once a month, and during that time on I believe it was July 27th, we lost Bill Panos. Bill Panos was a long-time 35-year coaching over at the high school. He was inducted into the Massachusetts High School Hall of Fame as a coach. They had over 180 wins, 11 Little League titles, and 2 Super Bowl championships. He was pretty. I had some time to be around him as I do coach. Some of the younger kids in the little leagues, the younger kids in town. My condolences go out to his family, and the town lost a really intricate part to it. Now I'll turn it over to the. Do you guys have anything on that? No. I'll turn it over for the planning board, so you guys can go ahead and open.
I call the meeting of the planning board to order. Need a motion to approve Justin Howard as the associate member of the planning board.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Now we need to do the same thing to appoint it.
Yep.
At this time, I make a motion to approve Justin Howard to the planning board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And just so everybody is aware, this was approved at town meeting this past year. It is for a 3-year appointment. However, appointments all end on June 30th of that year. So my point is his term will end on June 30th, 2029, of which he could be up for reappointment at that time.
Okay. 2029.
Yep.
Got it.
I'm going to hold you to it.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know you were here, Justin. Would have had you stand up, introduce yourself, talk a little bit
Tell us a
more.
little bit.
Flowers in the back, Justin.
Right on.
So at this point, the joint meeting it can be over unless the planning board has other business, and if not, then they can close their meeting. They're more than welcome to stay since it's a public meeting, or they can leave, their choice.
But we will be going into executive session.
Yeah, but that's why they should close their meeting at this point.
Yeah.
We got to.
I'm sorry. Oh, Ryan.
Planning board said.
I'm
yeah.
so sorry, Ryan, yep.
I make next on the agenda is vote to ratify Ryan Franey's employment as planning board secretary. Ryan?
Hello.
How are you?
Hey, Ryan.
Here, hiding in the back.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Perfect.
I have one comment and nothing against you, Ryan, as you haven't started yet. But I'm hoping with Ryan's employment, the planning board can catch up on the website with meeting minutes and agendas. I looked today, I didn't see any, I didn't look super hard, but there's no 2026 folder, and I didn't see anything out there past October 1st. And, just in the spirit of transparency, if we can get that caught back up. I know there's been a ton of change and stuff going on, so this isn't point a finger or anything, but just an opportunity, Ryan, as you get going to get things squared
I
away.
think a lot of that's now will be going through Tracy.
Okay.
He's
Whoever,
going
however.
to be the administrator for us, and he will be doing what she needs done and taking minutes.
Sounds like you got work to do already, Ryan. Sounds like
Ryan, behind and you haven't
He's a
started.
busy man.
sounds like we needed you.
So,
It's a
yeah.
lot easier. We
Yeah,
have
so-
as much conflict of interest as we had.
Whatever, however, if we could just.
Tracy's
get
here
caught up, it
too,
would
so
be
she
great.
can. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see Tracy right there.
Thank you, Tracy.
I don't want to put you on the spot. You got anything to say?
Not much really. Hello, Ryan Franey. I guess the most that I could say is that I graduated from Curry College in 2025 with a bachelor's degree in communication, and I'm also a published author.
Oh, right on.
Congratulations.
Right on. Looking forward to learning a little bit more about you. All right, at this point, I'll make a motion to ratify Ryan Franny's employment as planning board secretary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, welcome aboard.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yay.
Get busy.
Any other business to attend?
No, at this point, I would ask the planning board to close their portion of their meeting.
Need a motion to adjourn the joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen and to reconvene downstairs at 6:30.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you
Perfect,
very
thank you
much.
so much for
Thank you,
joining us.
everybody.
Have a
Thank
good night,
you,
guys.
Good night, guys.
Thanks for
Justin,
coming.
nice to see you.
Yeah.
Hiding from the back.
Enjoy your
So it's
meeting.
easier.
What was that, honey?
Waiting for your jokes.
Yeah. I
Oh,
got
God.
some good ones.
Run.
I'll be down for the jokes
Oh,
after.
no. Jeff loves the jokes.
Yeah, I like them too.
See?
See?
I actually saved that section.
At this time, I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session for a purpose of conducting strategy session for negotiations with non-union personnel, specifically the DPW superintendent. The board will reconvene into open session at the end of executive session. This does require a roll call vote. Perez, yes?
Lee, yes?
Ryan, yes.
Right on. The time is now 6:22. We have closed the executive session and we are moving on with the agenda. First on the agenda, warrant boards and selected business. Vote to sign the warrant for the 2026 state primary.
Yep, so this is just a requirement of law, because as you know, we'll have a primary, state primary in early September. And you're just signing the warrant for the town clerk to post.
Correct. Do you need a motion or anything on this?
Please.
Make a motion to sign the warrant for the 2026 state primary.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next on the agenda is vote to approve the organizational framework between the DPW and the Water Department.
Mr. Chair, if I can speak on that, and actually probably the next 3 or 4, because there's a vote to approve the job description for DPW Water Department, Water Superintendent. There's another vote to approve the job description for Assistant Water Superintendent, and then vote to approve the contract for the DPW Water Superintendent. At our
Correct.
last meeting,
Should we just group these together now?
I think so. At least for the purpose of my conversation, we can vote however you choose. But at our last meeting, we formed a subcommittee to further explore, well, really, at that point, to further define how we could make this work, where we have Phil McNulty, excuse me, who is our current DPW director, running our DPW, expand his role to also be water superintendent, driven from the fact that current superintendent is retiring in December, and driven from the fact that Phil has had that role in addition to the DPW role in the past. There were some very legitimate concerns about meshing the two together, and some concerns about organizational structure and reporting and things along those lines. So there were several meetings that took place, and to be honest, my role in the whole piece was fairly low, because the emails and the communication going back and forth between Art, Mr. McNulty, and David were exceptional in just communicating and working through and defining roles and how it's going to work, and under certain circumstances what happens here, and there, and further defining the org chart. There is a document in the packet that I won't read, but entitled Organizational Framework of DPW and Water Superintendent. This was largely built out between Phil, Art, Water Chairman, and David, who Phil would report to on a day-to-day basis. So those are the 3 key people in this. They all worked well together in doing this, and I'm confident that if that partnership continues, this will be a successful venture. But in summary, to go through all 3, the water superintendents voted on Monday evening to approve this. So it's been approved. All 3 voted in favor. We will vote shortly, but they are in favor of this, where Mr. McNulty, starting September 1st, will be water superintendent, and the phase out and transition is something that the water department will handle, and the water commissioners will handle. But from that, the transition will begin September 1 if we approve everything tonight. I think it's great for the town. We have somebody who's very proven and very project-driven as a DPW director, and to bring some of those skills into the water department will be very beneficial. As part of the realignment, there is also an open position for an assistant water superintendent to handle a little more of the day-to-day. And that job description we'll vote on as well in a little bit. So I think success all around. I think it's a brilliant thing for the town. We have a very skilled, and we have two boards that are working together to do what I think is the right thing for the town. And
Yep.
you know, I can speak. We spoke last time. There's a little animosity maybe between the boards based on the last town meeting, but I think the fact that everybody came together to do well. We haven't voted yet. Assuming we vote in that direction, but everybody kind of came together to really do what's right for the town is how I see this. So that's sort of my summary. I don't know if there's anything else that anybody wants to add.
All right. I think it sounds great. Again, I was disappointed, with the outcome at town meeting, obviously. I understand the residents have spoken. However, now that this doesn't require the water commissioners to be appointed and not elected, I think that this kind of meets what we need for the town without interrupting or, without changing that part, which seemed to be the reason that the residents had an issue with it all to begin with. So I'm hoping that this is the solution. I think it is. It looks good. I'm excited, really.
I think at the end of the day, we're being more efficient, and we have a really strong plan. I think the plan is going to be a little bit fluid, as we'll see. But what other organization isn't fluid? I think at the end of the day, there's always going to be some changes that need to be made and some adjustments to the plan. But I think we're all in agreement that at the end of the day, we all want what's best for the town. That's both boards. I know that we have the right people in both departments. And at the end of the day, we're looking for real strong departments, and I think we're going to have that. At this time, we'll go through these individually just so that it's recorded on record for the motions, unless anybody's got anything else. You guys are good with going through these as individual?
Sure.
All right. Make a motion to approve the organizational framework between the DPW and the Water Department as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, next is vote to approve make a motion to approve the job description for the DPW Water Superintendent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the job description for the Assistant Water Superintendent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to approve the contract for the DPW Water Superintendent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Give a moment for the clicking to catch up. We good? All right, special permit, site plan review, ZBA 355 West Center Street, childcare.
So currently there is a building, it is entirely vacant, as confirmed today from the building commissioner. He used to be a law office. That building is, they're looking, an entity is coming in that already runs a childcare in a different town. They're looking to convert that building into a childcare facility. It is allowed by our zoning, no issues from that standpoint. They would have between 18 to 20 staff members. From there, they do not state in the narrative as to how many children they look to service, but there are ratios as defined by state law. I've provided all of that to you as well, so you have those ratios. We don't know what the age of the children will be. We don't know if they're going to be 6 months old or 6 years old. So there is a difference on that. So the only real concern, it will go to the Zoning Board of Appeals, one for a site plan review. There is some minor modification to the building that will be done for ADA capabilities. And then also they'll be putting in some playgrounds. Their concern is that according to our zoning metrics, they would require 39 parking spots. There are only 32 there. The applicant contends that based on history of their other facility, is that they do not need more than 29, so they think 32 is more than adequate. So they will be seeking relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals on that portion. So it is before you to provide any comments to the zoning board that you would like to provide.
So, is it that whole building
It is.
that's there? Okay, all right, so that's a large space. That's gonna be a rather large space. So I'm concerned that they haven't, given us a number of children that are gonna be there. And I'm concerned just because of the location, right there on 106. Do you know where it is exactly?
Gray building to the left of Healthy Smiles, for lack of a better.
Absolutely, exactly. So unfortunately, I'm envisioning people, coming in for drop-off every day. So, I mean, if they're looking for 18 to 20 staff, just looking at the ratios, there's quite a bit of children there anticipating, and that is a large space. So I'm just concerned about the amount of traffic, coming down 106, taking a left into that parking lot, for instance, or all of the traffic that's now going to be routed to, correctly, that's Pleasant, right?
Prospect.
I knew it. Right there, that traffic going in there. I think that's going to be, honestly, I think it might be problematic a couple of times a day.
I
At
think I'm
peak
with you.
traffic days,
We
times.
can't, in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, that road is not moving anyhow.
Exactly.
And we can't have cars queuing up on that road, slowing it down anymore, so.
That's exactly my concern. Whether it's 106 or Prospect, it's going to be an issue on both of those roads. It's really going to jam up. I mean, we already have a problem with 106. That, you know what I mean. We're going to have to put some more time into figuring out over the next, however many years it's going to take. But I just see that backing up, so like right up into Market Basket, right through the lights.
Sorry,
Yeah, go
I don't
ahead.
mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
I do know that there's a rear exit on there.
But that's what I'm talking about. They're gonna go down that street now too. They're gonna take a left down that street, which is
Right.
gonna block it up too.
I just think that, from what it sounds like, we would just like to see their flow. From what it sounds like, I would like the zoning board, I think we would all like the zoning board to see their flow. I will say this, for whatever reason, restaurants in our town aren't surviving. But I do notice that childcare facilities are thriving. I hate to see
Can you go one
buildings-
more that way, Christine? Thank you. I'm sorry,
No, you're good.
I'm not listening to you.
You're not listening to me?
No, I said not that I'm not listening to you.
No, I just feel like I feel like childcare facilities are thriving, and I really would hate to see, that's a large building, and the potential of somebody wanting to move into it relatively quickly, that it's empty, seeing something go in it that keeps it nice and healthy, and not abandoned, makes me kind of somewhat smile.
Listen, I'm all for business, I'm all for taking that however we can. In a traditional sense, it's already short 7 parking spaces for
Yep.
what it's being assigned for. And this isn't a traditional setup, right? This isn't the dentist or
Yeah.
the other buildings in the dentist building where people are coming in and out at different times during the day.
Exactly.
There's gonna be a mass of people coming in at 6, 7, whatever time drop off.
Between 6 and 8, probably.
And
Yep.
there's gonna be another rush at 5. We have a main thoroughfare that's already beyond screwed up.
Yeah.
If there's a saving grace in this, I don't believe anybody in town drives on 106 anymore. But nonetheless, we'll pretend they do. I still think we have an obligation to sort of keep things moving there. So I am all for it, but and I know we're not the ZBA, but if I was the ZBA, somebody would need to convince me through some sort of traffic engineering or some sort of study that the fog is going to happen in the parking lot, not on the street.
I think with the proper flow, right? The proper flow. There's staff members outside to grab the children as they come in instead of the family members having to bring them in. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
could be done expedited.
Yeah,
But I
see,
think-
that's where I have a problem, because that's gonna cause queuing. We already have a place in town, that there's significant queuing for pickup and drop off every single day. And I know it because I'm stuck behind the people queuing when I'm on my way to work. So I don't know that place specifically had to, have X amount of parking spaces. I don't know what their issue is, but they queue up and they queue up down the street. And it's an inconvenience. So I think that while they already don't have enough parking, and it's in such an area in town that we are already having so much difficulty with traffic, I don't think it's an ideal location. And I would say that they don't have enough parking. They just don't. I mean, they don't. They technically don't have enough parking. And I wouldn't be in favor of any type of parking relief, just considering that I know that it's going to be a lot of traffic flow going in and out of there all day.
If I was them, I know what I'd do. I'd close the other entrance and add the 5 parking spots there. And then we have nothing. At least they have 2 entrances, an exit and an entrance.
Yep. I'd still have an issue with the parking. I mean, with the traffic. I think that it's going to cause a lot of traffic. It's gonna back up traffic, it's gonna be very congested in that area for those times where it's already congested in that area.
Yeah, I think it can be done. I think you need to, like, somebody with some skill,
Mm-hmm.
they need to invest a little bit in understanding what
Engineering.
that should look like. Yes.
Yeah, so those would just be my comments personally, would be that there would need to be some serious conversation about the traffic flow and what that looks like at crucial hours during the day.
Yeah.
There needs to be some work put into that. That would be my comment to the ZBA.
My comment would be maybe the permit gets tied to the fact that traffic is not.
I feel for Christina. How the heck we're gonna summarize all this talking?
Well, I know. I haven't had pen to paper yet, because I haven't figured it out.
They'll
So-
manage.
So I think what I'm hearing is twofold. One is that the board would request that there is some type of traffic engineering report done, so that way it makes sense that parking will be on site, it will not impact entering into and exiting the property. And the second is to Jeff's point, and what Marcy was saying earlier, is that my opinion, I think that we should state in the permit that their special permit becomes non-compliant if queuing occurs on the roadway. Meaning, if you don't engineer it right, and now you have people queuing on the road, we're gonna shut off, you're closed. Like your permit's
Or
no
it's,
longer.
you can take between 40 and 60 students. When you get towards 60, now you're queuing on the road, sorry, you gotta cut back to 50.
Whatever the number
Yeah,
is, but
whatever.
correct.
They
Yeah.
can manage that by their enrollment
Right.
to a certain
Yeah.
extent, right? So,
At the end of the day, their special permit becomes void if it leads to queuing on the roadway. If that makes sense to the board,
Yeah.
I think that's the language that I would refer to.
yeah.
No, I think that's good. I think that, I know that we're not gonna get that information right now because it's not in the application, but I think the ZBA should, request, if they can tell you how much staff they're gonna have, they can give you an approximate number of the amount of students or, children that they're gonna be taking.
Projected.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what David gave us, the state ratios.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, so we don't know if they're gonna be 7-year-old
If it's numbers,
children where they have to be one staff member for 13, or if it's a, 15-month-old that has one staff member for every 3, so,
Yep.
that's a large difference, so I would like to get a better idea of just number of children, the ages or whatever, but the number of children total, because, obviously if there are 30 children, we've got 30 people coming in and dropping off and 30 people picking up, so it's much easier to work with, if you have the number.
When there's a will, there's a way, they'll figure it out.
Yep,
All right, good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Next on the agenda, approve the meeting minutes for June 10, 2026. I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of June 10, 2026.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next is accept the meeting minutes of July 15, 2026. This time I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of July
Second.
15, 2026 for review, and we got it all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Communication reports and board commissions and town officials. First on the agenda, accept Celia Roberts' resignation from the Open Space Committee.
Well, that's too bad. But it just looks like she's transitioning, so she's still gonna be around, so that's good. We'll take help in any way we can, so sad to see you go, but glad you're still helping.
Yeah. If at all possible, send a letter. Thank you so much.
Make a motion.
Next on the agenda, accept, do we need to make a motion?
Yeah.
Please.
Make a motion to accept Celia Roberts' resignation from the Open Space Committee.
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda, accept Michael Devley's resignation from the Fire Department.
South Carolina.
Yeah, well, I'm
Good luck.
jealous. Well, sad to see him go, but jealous of where he's going.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Make a motion to accept Michael Devley's resignation from the Fire Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next on the agenda, accept Lorna Brazel's resignation from Council of Aging.
That's too bad. Make a motion.
I make a motion to accept Lorna Brazel's resignation from the Council of Aging.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next on the agenda, Corey Mackins. Make a motion to accept Corey Mackins' resignation as DPW laborer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We get some appointments. Thank you. if at all, we'd like to, if we could send a letter to everybody and just say thank you for their time in town. I make a motion, all right, for next on the agenda is appoint James Noyes as Records Access Officer for the Planning Board. Make a motion to accept James Noyes, Records Access Officer for the Planning Board.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Jane Hatch as Warden for Precinct 1. Made a motion, I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Make a motion to appoint Rosemary
You skipped.
Hackinsall as Clerk for Precinct 2.
Second.
Also known as Rosemary
All,
Hatch.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And make a motion to appoint Francis Debo as the Clerk for Precinct 1.
Second.
I skipped it, so I went back. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, nailed it. Correspondence from the public to determine a course of action. I don't know why I was so tongue-tied, but we got through it. There was none. Public comment period. There's no one here except for us. Town Administrator report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So as you know, at the end of every year, we do our end-of-year transfers. This is, so the general public knows, this is the fact that although town meeting votes a budget, sometimes obviously we do it 15 months in advance. Not every single budget can be within $1. So we always know that we under budget our snow and ice, so we'll have to do a transfer for that. So really, there's just two other budgets that were overdrawn. Rent control board this year at $611. They had two petitions that came in. There was more legal fees. There's not much we can do about it. We have a obligation to the residents that are there to make sure that they have a fair and impartial hearing. And then in street lighting, is that as we continue to build more homes and we have more subdivisions, we're going to have more street lights. I will tell you, this has been funded at $95,000 for about 5 or 6 years since we converted to LEDs. It used to be over $100,000 every year, so the bill has been lower. So we'll watch it for the next year or two. Understand something that not only is it about more subdivisions and therefore more lights, it's also about all the lights come on in sensors. So if you have a particularly gray day, they might come in early, even though sunset's still the same time every single year based on sunset. So with that said, it went over by a couple of $1,000s. So really, I want to applaud all of our department heads. They stay within their budgets. Many other towns not only have more issues than this, they also don't have the money to be able to transfer over, and they have to push onto their next tax roll. And this is not one penny being charged to the taxpayer. So I will just ask you to take a vote to transfer from benefits a total of $443,246 to cover the deficits in those three respective departments. Once you approve it, assuming that you do, once you approve it, then the Finance Committee will meet tomorrow night, and they will vote on this as well, and then I'll provide it to the town accountant.
I think we should also note that we had a little bit of an unprecedented snow event during this year, which probably had contributions to that, and we had no assistance from the state or
The
Or
feds
federal.
denied the state, so.
or the Fed. So I make a motion to approve the end-of-year transfers as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next really is just an FYI. We all know that inflationary pressures in today's world are real, especially when it comes to energy. I think that there are things that we could do at a state level that would take some of the pressure off, but that's obviously above the powers of this town. I do want to let you know what we have done is a couple of years ago, Jeff helped me on it, but every single 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, whatever, we go out to bid for our electrical aggregation program. And at that time, when we did, our electric aggregation rate was 11.3 cents. And the best bid we could come up with was 12.8. And at that point, it was a little difficult because we're like, oh my gosh, and it's going up 1.5 cents. We were trying to keep it lower. But we made a decision at that point to do a 3-year because we could kind of see that the long-term costs may increase. And again, sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're good, probably a little of both. But as you can see, National Grid's rate effective August 1st is going to go to 17.18 cents. So literally 5.5 cents more than the aggregation rate. So I'm saying it now. If you haven't aggregated and you don't want to, cool, not a big deal. But if you are paying National Grid and you would like to save 5 cents per kilowatt, which obviously adds up over time, this flyer is in the packet. It's on our website. You can call the number. You can go online. It should be fairly quick and easy, but please do what you can to save yourself some money. That rate is in effect for 6 months. National Grid will go back out to bid in May. So I don't know if their rate will go up or down at that point, but at least for the minimum of 6 months, you will save that. We've already been saving, but this will be the biggest delta that we've had over the last couple of years for differences.
And it's not a different bill, it's incorporated into the bill. It's, you make the switch and you forget about it. David manages it at a lower rate for most of the time, if not all the time.
Yeah, we have never seen it actually be higher. And if it were, you just switch back, like you said, Jeff. Next is earmarks from Senator Driscoll. Again, just an FYI, you'll see that he received or secured 3 specific ones. $10,000 for a nonprofit group that operates here in locally in West Bridgewater, and then $25,000 for the food pantry, and $100,000 that is normally in the annualized budget. They put it into this the earmark portion of the budget instead, but that allows for communication between fire chiefs and the county if phone lines go down. Next one is just an approval for Old Hospice, who does their annual memorial walk. Employee Appreciation Day is scheduled currently for Friday, September 25th. We have historically recently done it at the Council on Aging. That room has been secured. So again, we can all talk about it amongst ourselves, but just giving you a heads up that, we always think September, it seems so far away, and now we're only a month away. So we'll obviously start discussing that. The next item is your next meeting currently is scheduled for September 2nd. I can tell you that based on the current workflow, there's probably a knot that has to be done, and that's leading into Labor Day weekend. So I just don't think it's necessary to have that meeting. If the board agrees, I would ask that we would cancel that meeting with the caveat that if something does come up, that I would reach out to the chair and ask the chair to call one. Our next scheduled date then would be on September 16th. However, in my conversations with Jeff, it turns out that night won't work for him. So I don't know, does September 23rd, would that work for you guys?
Would the week before?
It does not.
The 9th was okay.
The 9th was okay.
Yes,
Is it the
it's
9th?
just, the 16th, I will not be here.
So the only concern with the 9th is the 7th is Labor Day, which means that we would be posting earlier that previous week, and I don't know if we'll have all the materials. But if that's what you want to do, then we'll have to.
Well, my worry is that if we do that late in September, then our next meeting in October, because we start doubling up come October, right?
Yep, but there is a 5th Wednesday in September, so it would still be 2 weeks between
Okay.
that September and October meeting.
Okay. All right, could we just pencil in and then etch that in stone at a later date, or we have to etch it in stone now?
Well, I think the first thing we would do is I would ask you to take a vote to cancel your September 2nd meeting.
Yep.
And then I guess if you would prefer September 9th, then let me know, take that vote, and then I guess we could talk about it, Mike, between now and then make a decision as we get closer whether we need it or move it to the 23rd. Is that, Mike, what you're looking for?
Yeah, because I think I might have something on that
Okay.
September. I am unsure at this
I'm
point.
grateful that you guys
Yeah.
can move from the 16th, so I'll take,
Yeah.
I can make anything else work.
Yeah, I have to look at a calendar and see what's going on.
Okay, all right.
I make a motion to cancel the September 2nd, 2026 meeting unless something comes up that we have to call for a meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect.
And then at this point, why don't we take a vote then to say that our next scheduled meeting will be September 9th? Again, recognizing that if we have to make a change, we'll make a change. But we do want to post something with the town clerk.
Yeah, and I can have an answer to you as early as tomorrow.
That's fine.
Yep. Make a motion that our next scheduled meeting will be September 9th, 2026.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right on.
Good. Thank you very much.
All right. Motion to adjourn. No. At this time, I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session, not to return to open session to discuss strategy with respect to litigation, specifically K versus the town of West Bridgewater. Since, in my opinion as chair, strategizing in open session would have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the town. This does require a roll call vote. Perez, yes?
Lee, yes?
Brian, yes.
Right on.